to Rockin' Country Radio, today's hottest country and more. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Rockin' Country Radio. I'm your host, DJ Delta Dawn, and it is the eve of Friday Eve, as I like to call it. Some of you refer to it as Hump Day, but no matter what you call today, I hope it's been a great one, and I hope that you are having a good week so far. We're kind of coasting now. It's just about downhill to the weekend, and I know it won't be long now, as many of you are looking forward to that, I bet. And we're very excited tonight because our guest is kind of new to the U.S. country music scene. He has just released his debut single here in the U.S. I think it was July 1st is when it dropped. And but he is no stranger to country music, and definitely no stranger to those overseas who know him very, very well. In fact, our guest tonight is a Swedish country star, and he was named Best European Country Music Act at the the British Music Awards, Country Music Awards, BCMAs, in November of last year, and he won, among some of our country music's best, which were also nominated, such as Carrie Underwood, Vince Gill, Tim McGraw, Taylor Swift, Keith Urban, and many more. And he is just immensely talented. I want to give you a little background on him before we bring him on the line. He actually had a great year last year because he had 2 European hits on the European Country Top 40, and he represented Sweden at the CMA Global Show in Nashville as part of the CMA Fest week in June, along with various acts from around the world and all the top American country artists such as Taylor Swift, Keith Urban, Lady Antebellum, Tim McGraw, and many more. And it was beamed around the world live via the internet and audio streams to over 10 stations in the USA, Europe, and Australia. And then he was asked to appear at 2 of the CMR Nashville's international shows on Broadway at the Whiskey Bent and the Bridgestone Arena. And if that wasn't enough, he was invited to be part of the CMA Fest Autograph signings at the Digital Rodeo booth with thousands of fans walking around in the brand new Music City venue. So he is just really making some great strides in the world of country music. And as I said, his debut single here in the States dropped on July 1st. It is called Hayride. We're going to be playing that a little bit later in the show. But now I am so happy and proud to welcome to our show tonight Hicks. Hello, Hicks.
Thank you so much.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear.
Okay, wonderful. I can indeed. Well, I want to welcome you to our show. It is such an honor to have you here because, as I was telling the audience before you dialed in, I said he's kind of new to the U.S. country scene, but he is an international country superstar, and that's really a first for us. We're very honored to have you, so thank you for taking some time out of your schedule to be with us this evening.
Well, thank you for having me. It's really cool. That's the power of music. You get to talk to people all over the world.
That is indeed very true. Very true statement, because I've met so many people, indeed, but it's amazing how music, no matter where you're from or what your background is, it brings people together like nothing else can. And it's just a wonderful medium. I love it. And I have to tell you, as I was kind of letting the audience know a little bit about you before I brought you on, you had a great year last year. It seems like everything in your career just kind of really snowballed, and it hasn't slowed down since, has it?
No, I'm on the hayride of my life. It's just a crazy ride, and I'm pinching myself every day just to, this is real. It's really happening. Yeah. So it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm truly blessed.
How long did you I'm sure music it runs very deep in your veins, but how long did you work at this till you finally made it, as they say? It takes a lot of hard work, as many people who are aspiring to get into the country music business. But for you personally, what was your journey like along the way?
Well, I started out as an artist, and I toured over here in Europe with a lot of different rock bands, and because country music in Sweden isn't a big thing yet. I'm working on it. I'm doing what I can, and I started to write songs for all these artists I was touring with, and I just stopped touring, and I thought I was done with being an artist, and I just started writing songs. And I've been writing for a lot of cool bands all around the world, Little River Band and Jimmy Jamison from Survivor, Bobby Kimball from Toto, and guys from Journey, and I was really, really content being a songwriter. And then I went to Nashville and played some of my songs for Ronnie Thomas. He's a producer and manager over there. Mm-hmm. And he told me that you shouldn't pitch those songs to anybody. You should go home to Sweden and do it yourself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm a songwriter. No, you're an artist. I can hear that. So I went back and I thought about it for about 5 minutes, and then I went to the studio. Yeah, let's record the songs. But I didn't put up a song on YouTube until 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. That was my first single, Mama's Kitchen, because I just wanted to see what kind of response I would get. Mm-hmm. And what a response I got.
Wow.
It just took off like crazy. And I got DJs from all around the world mailing me and said, "Oh, please send us your song. We want to play it. We want to play your song. Where can we find it?" It was like I wasn't prepared at all.
Yeah.
So it really caught me by surprise. And so I've been doing this now for 3 years.
That
was
amazing.
A long story about that.
No, I'm so thankful you shared it, because I'm sitting here going, I think a lot of times when we hear our favorite bands, and you named quite a few that American people know very well, Journey, Toto, Little River Band, and as I'm sitting here, oftentimes we're so focused on the music and the artist that go hand in hand, we don't think about the songwriters behind the scenes who have penned that great song for that band that's out there performing it, And if you don't mind, Hicks, can you throw out some of the song titles that you wrote for some of these bands, which are very familiar to the American music scene?
Yeah, the latest album with the Little River Band, they called the album was called "Cuts Like a Diamond," and I wrote that song, and that was just amazing. First that they cut my song, and then they named the whole album after the song. I was just like, wow. I can die now. It doesn't get bigger than this. And then I wrote a whole album for Jimmy Jamison, who sings with Survivor. His latest solo album, me and my colleague Eric Martinson, we wrote the whole album for him.
Wow.
And that album is called Never Too Late. And it's actually about one of my missions in life is to tell everybody that it's never too late for anything. It's never too late to follow a dream. It's never too late to go and do whatever you want to do. Just go out there and do it. Because as long as we're breathing, we can accomplish anything.
Yeah, we always have that chance as long as we're breathing, right? I mean, it's never too late. That's a great advice, and I think definitely words that ring true for me personally, but many others who are listening tonight. And I tell you, it's amazing though. Obviously, your songwriting ability is just through the roof. It's crazy good, and just from the response of the first single that you released, that you really didn't know what to expect when you released it. It was just kind of a test experiment, and man, it just exploded on you. And I have to say, this next single that you've released, Hayride, as you said, you're just on the hayride of your life. It is a great song and a real testament to the songwriter that you are. I mean, we have been playing it a lot on our show, and we're getting so much positive response. People love this song.
Cool. Glad to hear that.
Yeah, and what was the inspiration for you behind this song? Because it's I think I read, and we'll get to the video in a second, but well, I'll save that comment for when we're talking about the video. But what was your inspiration behind the song itself?
Well, I wanted to write a fun, up-tempo, beer-drinking, foot-tapping party song. And I had an idea for the chorus in my head, and I had that for quite some time. It's just like, hey, 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 Rad. And I didn't know what to do with it. So I called a good friend, and his name is Les Anderson, and we hooked up, and I played a chorus for him, and he said, that's a great chorus. Yeah, and we wrote the song in the next 10 minutes, and we were laughing all the time. It was so much fun writing that song.
It sounds like it. And if people see the video, they know how much fun that you guys had writing the song. But just the video itself, it just looks like it was fun to perform and fun to do. And I was going to say a moment ago, what I thought I read this, but correct me if I'm wrong, that when that video was filmed, it was freezing outside. Is that true?
It's so true. It was -3 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh,
That's
gosh.
Cold.
Oh,
really
yeah,
cold.
for sure.
If you look really carefully in the video, you can see that everybody is kind of like pig pink in the skin because we are freezing so much.
Well, and that's one of those, you don't want to take 20 takes per scene. You just want to get it shot maybe in 1 or 2 takes, right?
Well, yeah, but then there was a lot of bourbon. That helped. It was an excuse.
Well, you can tell, it's one of those things, obviously there's snow on the ground, and you can see that in some of the scenes. So, oftentimes you just can assume that it was cold, and that, that was like you were really outdoors and it was really cold. But sometimes you never know with videos because they're so well done now. Even when you're in a studio filming, and it's an outdoor scene, it can look very realistic. So, but it was a great job, and it looked like everybody in the video just had a superb time making it. And despite the cold, you guys pulled it off considering how frigid it was.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun because I just wanted to do something different because it's so obvious when you have a title of a song like Hayride, and it's going to be sun and it's going to be a hayride, and so I wanted to take it somewhere else. And I said, well, let's shoot it in the winter because nobody's going to expect that.
No, not at all. And that was a great twist on that.
So like you said, it was a lot of fun, and I hope people can see how much fun we had writing the song and recording the song, because I'm having a lot of fun with all of this.
Oh, I bet. I know you have to be. And which, by the way, you mentioned earlier as we were chatting that you've written for all these rock bands, you performed with them. What made you choose country music genre, especially with it not being quite as popular or well-known in Sweden as it will be eventually, but with your popularity, the way it's growing for sure. But what made you choose the country genre?
I grew up listening to country. My mom and my grandpa, they were big country music fans, so they played Johnny Cash and Jim Reeves and Hank, and I grew up listening to that. And when I got older, I wanted to play country music, but nobody was listening to country music, and they were just like, what? No, that's cheesy. No, we want to play rock. So I started playing rock, and because I like that as well. I mean, I'm not a music snob that just listens to one thing. I love great songs. I love great music. And I think that's why I sound the way I do, because I'm so influenced by country and by rock. So I have one foot in each camp.
And that's awesome because, especially when I think about a song like Hayride, when you see how country music has kind of evolved from this, traditional sound into more of a country pop rock sound, and I love how it's kind of bringing in different sounds from different genres of music into the country music. It's almost like country is evolving into this one-size-fits-all kind of music that everybody can get into, no matter what kind of music that you prefer over another. You automatically you can't help but become a country music fan because of everything that it has to offer right now.
No, it's so true. And what I love about country music as well is the singers are great, the players are great. Don't try to attempt to play country music if you can't play an instrument or if you can't sing. Because the fans won't allow it.
Exactly.
And that's what I love. And it's so real. Country music to me it's so honest and real.
Yeah, it really is. It's so relatable. You hear a country music song and it's like you're instantly going, oh my gosh, I just did that last night, or that happened to me last summer. I mean, it's very relatable. Yep. It doesn't get more real than country music, because the music that's written is written from experiences that artists and songwriters alike have had, and either by them personally themselves or someone they know, and it's so identifiable. And I love all the music that's out right now, because especially with country, you've got all your country songs that are tailored for summer, that are just perfect for this time of year, but are going to be great to pull out of the vault next summer and the summer after that, to add to the new stuff that's going to be out. So I love the way it's being written, because it's not just for the here and now. I mean, I think it's going to be pretty timeless as time goes on. Is people are going to still come back to it time and again.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think also that it's so broad, it's going to draw a lot of people into country music that never listened to country music before, and you're just like, wow, this is great stuff.
Exactly. That's so true. Now, your song, Hayride, which, like I said, we absolutely love here at Rockin' Country Radio, but what kind of feedback have you been getting from the American listening audience?
Crazy. I can't believe it. It's just awesome. It's mind-blowing. And I've been getting great reviews from magazines and country blogs and everything. It's just, like I said, it's mind-blowing. I can't wrap my head around it. It's. I have to pinch myself. Just like, yeah.
Well, if the response has been this well received, Hicks, this just means you're going to have to put out more songs. Which, by the way, are you working on any new material, or can we expect another song in the near future from you?
Yes, I'm working on my album. It's pretty much done, but then I got an offer to go to Nashville in September and to write with some really heavy hitters, and I'm going to do that. So maybe I wait. Yeah, and maybe I'll wait till I've been in Nashville and written with those guys and see what comes out of that session, because I want my album to be flawless. I don't want any fillers. I just want it to be great, great, great songs. 12, 15 just super great songs.
Oh, well, if your early stuff, Hayride and the other music that you put out, is any indication of what we can expect on this album, fans are going to be in for such a treat. And I can't wait. I mean, it sounds like, you're well on your way, other than just kind of tweaking it here and there. But do you, even though you're going to kind of hold off for a bit to kind of collaborate upcoming when you're in Nashville, do you have kind of a generic idea of when you think you might release that album?
Yes, I'm thinking in November.
Oh, that'll be awesome. And that's around the corner, by the way.
I'm working on a big thing over here, and if that one locks in, I have to wait until I think it's March next year. Mm-hmm. But if that doesn't lock in, then I will release it in November.
Oh yeah, well. That's okay, because regardless of when you release it, I know it's going to be awesome, and it'll be one that everybody wants to get their hands on for sure. It's just going to be that good of an album. Oh, yeah, I have no doubt. I mean, like I said, the feedback we've been getting on Hayride has just been through the roof crazy. It's just been, people are just tweeting it. That when we play the song in our show and we tweet out about it, it's getting retweeted. We're getting comments about it. I mean, it's really been exciting to get that feedback and to know that the song is so well liked. So we've kind of been pushing it to Sirius XM, the highway, because they are really good about recognizing music that hasn't really made it into mainstream radio, but has that real great potential for doing so. So they go ahead and kind of introduce it to the world on their platform, and they do a great thing for artists like yourself. So we've been bugging them to pieces, going, have you heard this new song by Hicks? You really need to check it out. So yeah, we're still trying to generate that buzz for you on that, because it's too good of a song not
really
to be heard, for sure.
That. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we believe in great music, and when we find an artist or a song that we think needs to be heard by the masses, bigger than what we can do here, we are letting any and everyone know about it. So definitely, we've been doing that for you, for sure. Now, you mentioned that you have got a big event coming up over there in Sweden. Talk a little bit about what's going on there.
Well, it's kind of a secret yet, but it's one of the biggest TV shows over here. And it's, like I said, it's not really locked in yet. I haven't signed the papers for it yet, but we're going to have some meetings in August about it. And I'm going back to London getting new nomination for Best European Country Act. I won that award last year at the British CMA. Mm-hmm. And I got nominated again this year, so I'm going back there, and I'm going to perform at the show this year.
Oh, wow. That's so
and
exciting.
I'm going to share the stage with Steve Wariner. How cool is that?
Oh, that is awesome cool. I mean, Hicks, that's absolutely phenomenal. And congratulations on your award last year and your nomination again this year. And obviously, the British have recognized what an immense talent you are, and want you in the mix again this year. And that, to me, that is just incredible. And you are kind of like the worldly traveler, because between Nashville, I mean, you're kind of traveling a lot and keeping the air very, very busy, for sure, jetting back and forth between locales. And do you think there'll ever be a point, though, that you will actually move to the U.S. and settle in Nashville, or do you think for now it's great the way things are?
Well, no, I'm thinking about it. I'm seriously thinking about it. But like I said, I have a lot of stuff going on over here as well. So, so right now I'm going to stay here and go back and forth to Nashville as much as I can, and maybe buy a small house in Nashville, because that would be really cool, and I can be there when I'm working in the U.S., and then I can have my house here in Sweden when I'm here in Europe. So that would be the ideal thing, to have two places.
Hello, Hicks, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm sorry, I temporarily lost the connection, so they just redialed me in, so I apologize for that. But I was saying that I think it's awesome that you are so Sweden, and you're still keeping things very, very much active over there, but yet you are coming to the States, and you were saying that you would love to buy a small house in Nashville, and I think that would be cool, because when you come to Nashville, you'll have somewhere to, to kind of lay down some roots when you're here for an extended stay, and because I'm sure the hotel life, like flying, sometimes can kind of get to be a bore in a way, living out of suitcases and stuff.
Yeah, and when you're going to stay somewhere for a longer time, it's cool to have your own place. But I have decided one thing with this crazy hayride is that I'm just going to ride along and see where it takes me. Not going to go in and try to control it or push it or anything. I'm just going to let God do his work, and I'll take the back seat.
Yeah, well, I think you can never go wrong in that way, right? That is for sure.
I don't think so, because the easiest thing is to stand in your own way. And wanting things too much and trying to push and try to tell the universe that, well, you got me this far, now I take over. No, it
Yeah,
doesn't work
exactly.
like that.
Yeah.
So,
You
I'm,
gotta let God keep driving the boat, and just steering
yeah,
things along. And I think Carrie Underwood wrote the first song. I think her first single was "Jesus Take the Wheel," and I thought that was
yeah,
not only was a great country song, but there's a great meaning behind that and a lot of truth too, for sure.
it is. So that's what I'm trying to do. It's hard sometimes because sometimes I want to get in there and start doing things, and it's just like, no, I don't mean I don't work hard. You have to work hard
Sure.
and be very focused.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Just let things run their own course. It's going to take some time, but we will get there.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But, it'll be, regardless of how it unfolds, and it's going to be a great ride for sure, as it already is proving to be. And you have been nothing but successful from the get-go, and I see nothing but success in your future as time goes on, especially as Hayride continues to make its presence known here in the States, and it's so relevant to the American music scene because of all the country music sound that we have going. I mean, it's just a perfect fit for the type of country music that is so popular right now. And so I see that continuing to climb in popularity and really start getting some attention of some major industry execs. I don't know how they couldn't. It's just such a great song, and as I said before, it's just going to be really interesting and exciting all at the same time to see what this album is going to be like once it's out. So November for me personally can't get here soon enough because I'm gonna pre-order that thing and have it ready to download when it's available so I can start listening to it full force.
Cool. I will holler as loud as I can when it's done.
Oh, yeah, please do. I bet it'll be such an exciting moment for you. We may even hear you across the pond, you know what I'm saying? So that would be awesome for sure. Well, Hicks, I tell you, I'm excited for what's to come. You've got a busy next few months to get this album ready, but also with touring and just going back and forth. And so I really am going to be following you on social media as I have been to just stay up on the latest, greatest news from you, but also anything like that. We are happy to promote it out to our listeners and our fans so that they can stay up on everything that's going on, and especially when this album gets ready to drop. We'd love to know so we can start, hitting that hard for you as well.
Great, thank you. I appreciate that really, really much.
Oh, I'm glad to do it. We're so happy to promote you, and so thank you so much for being our special guest this evening. It has been such an honor to speak with you, and we wish you much luck as in the upcoming music awards, the Brittany Music Awards, and hope you win again and take it home for a second year in a row.
Too.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I hope
thank
so
you.
too. Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
You are wonderful, and love to have you back anytime. So take care, and we will definitely be in touch.
You too. Cool. Yeah.
All right.
Take care. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Good night. Bye. Awesome artist. Hicks is his name. And I tell you, if you have not had a chance to hear his music, we're going to play his latest release for you in just a few moments. But first, I want to give you information where you can find him online. Go to his website, hickscountry.com, and there you'll be able to find out everything you need to know about him. Also, he is Hicks Country on Twitter and on Facebook, also Hicks Country. So go follow him, like his Facebook page, and I tell you, if you haven't heard his music, you will be a fan because he really has a great sound. And, wow, who knew he had written for some of the U.S.'s biggest, rock music artists of our time. Journey, really, Little River Band, immensely talented songwriter, and I'm so glad that he followed the advice of one of his colleagues to start holding on to some of this music for himself and releasing it with this band. So much congratulations to Hicks for all of his success, and we look forward to hearing much more as time goes forward. Thanks to him for being our special guest this evening, and many thanks to all of you as well for being here with us. And that is actually going to wrap our show for this evening, but we will be back here tomorrow evening, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, same time, same place, with another great indie artist, so we hope that you'll join us for that. For Rockin' Country Radio, I'm your host, DJ Delta Dawn, wishing you all a wonderful evening, and we will see you back here again tomorrow night. Take care. Good night.
Smile. It's just good, clean fun, so you can leave your gun locked up at home. Me and Fighter Joe and his cousin Mo are ready to roll. Hey, 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 ride! Come on, have a good time. Hey, 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 ride! The heat is on, it's summertime. Hey, 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 ride! Hey, ride! A homemade thing. I got my brother's guitar ready for it starts. I'll have you sing. Hey, 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 ride! Come on, have a good time. Hey, 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 ride! The heat is on, it's summertime. Hey, 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 ride! Hey, ride! Hey, ride! Hey, hey, hey!
Rockin' Country Radio on the web. Find us at rockincountryradio.com, on Twitter at rockin_CTRY, and on Facebook at Rockin' Country Radio.